Today we're going to be talking about guest star. But before we do that, I want to show you this bridge. This is the Russky bridge in Vladivostok, which was completed in 2012 at a exceptionally large cost of about $1 billion. It is a technological marvel. It is a feat of engineering. It is one of the largest cable bridges in the world. But there's one problem with this bridge. It has a capacity of hosting 50,000 cars per day. But unfortunately, what it connects is at a peninsula to a town of 5,000. This is what is called a bridge to nowhere, an exceptionally expensive project that serves an exceptionally few amount of people. Now, the reason why we're talking about this bridge to nowhere today is because Twitch has built their own bridge to nowhere in the form of Guest Star, a product that currently has no significant demand, and every single time they've tried to rebuild, every single time they've tried to inspire people to use it, every single time they've tried to rework it, it's failed. And now we see them going to the depths of wanting to pay people to try to create some level of demand around it. Now, to fully explore this idea, we actually have to do a little bit of historical context to get the full picture here, to figure out exactly how we got to this bridge to nowhere. And it starts back in June 9th, 2022, although it technically starts before this because this is the first hint of it actually being launched, but development time went well before this. Twitch could be launching a collaborative video tool called Guest Star. Drakon, who is my German counterpart, previously shared these images, but the Android app just got an update mentioning it directly, which confirms its development, but not a release time at this point. Now, at the time of this tweet, I obviously didn't have a lot of information about it, but thanks to time, now that this is being recorded in 2024, I'm able to look back on some of the conversations that I had shortly after this tweet within the first 3 or 6 months to get a better understanding of what this actually was and how it came to be. And basically every single staffer that I had spoke to had variations of the same story. And some of those people still work at Twitch, but many of them do not. This was coming from marketing people, it was coming from engineers, it was coming from data people. So there was a wide variety of people that all had a very similar story. And it goes like this. Evidently, at the time, Twitch CEO Emmett Shear and then president Dan Clancy had this idea of a collaborative tool that would revolutionize, and that's the word that kept being brought up, revolutionize, talk content, non-gaming talk content on the platform. They had allegedly convinced themselves that this was going to change the game. The meta they were going to create was this kind of collaborative environment where everybody is interacting with everybody, and you have this vast network of spiderweb like interactivity where top streamers are interacting with the smallest streamers possible and everybody in between, and everybody is interacting all the time. And they'd convinced themselves of that, allegedly. And so this product immediately got a green light and a very strong endorsement because the top 2 people in the company were behind it. They believed in it so much that they were going to make this work. Now that's where things get interesting because these marketing and data people and engineers all said that the data seemed to suggest that this was a minor issue at best, in that the people who would do this kind of content probably already do it, and the tools that exist to enable it have already been figured out in the form of Discord, in the form of Zoom, in the form of meetings, in the form of Video Ninja. There was already tools in place that people were using that it seemed unlikely that they would be able to change the narrative that much, but that didn't stop them from pursuing it anyway. So when we finally do get a launch of this on June 30th, 2022, I think this is the only thing that I tweeted about it that day. I could be wrong, though. because I think I tweeted about it the day prior, but I said, just judging by the full court press of activity by Twitch, a media blitz, And damn near every staffer on Twitter, tweeting, sharing, liking, that's when it was still called Twitter, liking posts about it. There's a lot riding on the success of Guest Star. And so now that we're filming this in September of 2024, this has so far been the most accurate thing that has come out of that time. There's a lot riding on the success of Guest Star, which is why they continue to funnel money into this bridge to nowhere. But let's go back to that overall promotional blitz here. Twitch's new Guest Star mode will let anyone turn their stream into a talk show. Twitch debuts Guest Star feature. Creators can invite up to 5 people to participate in their live streams. Twitch will make it easier for creators to bring guests onto streams. Brings Clubhouse-style conversations to video streaming platforms, says Engadget. Twitch's new Guest Star feature turns live streams into game shows, says GamesBeat. Washington Post says Twitch reveals new feature built for popular just chatting streams. And TubeFilter says Twitch introduces Guest Star features to serve its just chatting community. So now let's fast forward a bit. Now we're into May 3rd, 2023. Guest Star Sidebar. A new test now shows when a streamer is using Guest Star as a plus number, a little icon of the guest, and a mouse over display the guest's username. And I wrote, the Guest Star beatings will continue until every streamer is using it daily. I'm being facetious, but damn, they really are attempting to break the community into using this. Let's fast forward again. May 31st. Twitch has added another Guest Star function, a bolded indicator beside the category saying how the stream is powered by the tool. I have to assume the entire company's future relies on Guest Star success. It's wild how hard this tool is being pushed. Now, around this time on my own stream, anybody who's been watching my stream for over a year at this point knows that I play a show called Guest Star. Let me show you what that looks like. And Guest Star is a game show where we guess using channel points how many people are currently using Guest Star. Is there 22 or more? Is there 18 to 21? Or is there less than 17 people currently using Guest Star at the time? And you can see from the little indicator there that the previous winner was for the under 17, it looks like. Historically, after a year, when I created this overall set, the average was between 18 to 21. On a platform that has 100,000 people live at any given time, the number of people using it on average for the first year of its life was 18 to 21. Now, these kind of features above are designed to try to encourage you to actually use it more. To say, hey, look at all the people using Guest Star. Allow me to go back to the regular page here, because that music, while great, is a little distracting. I've been playing that game for a year, and that overall overlay hasn't had to be changed. The only thing that's been kind of a problem is that over the last year, it's almost always been under 17. Less than 17 people on a platform of 100,000 live at any given time. June 5th, 2023. Twitch CEO Dan Clancy is begging you to use Guest Star. Pleading, begging, cherry-picking random data points from popular streamers that they are paying to use to try and convince you. The desperation is gross. The Guest Star format driving subs up to 75% more than average. Boost community engagement with Guest Star's request to join feature, which basically introduced a you can call into the stream at any time button. So again, that's June 5th, 2023. We fast forward again to August. It appears Guest Star invite function is now in active testing. It's associated with the raid highlight chatter and displays the raiding streamer as the raid boss with an add guest button. This was them, again, trying to find a solution trying to find a problem for the solution that they had built. So when you raid a stream, you'd get this button that says, hey, do you want to join my stream right now? Speaking of TOS.GG, if you're not already subscribed to my newsletter, great time for a plug. Thank you, past me. Sign up for my newsletter. Every single Monday, I send out a recap of everything happening in the streaming space. Sometimes a little intro, usually not much, but otherwise it's bullet point information on all the Twitch news, all the streaming industry news, all of the creator news, and some additional sections, keys and careers, where you can actually find paid opportunities for you as a creator. You can actually get some opportunities that are not paid, but could be promotional for you and your content. game keys. And if you're looking for a job in the industry, there's also jobs there as well. It is completely free to sign up. tos.gg/s. An actual bridge that takes you somewhere. It's not a nowhere bridge here. Anyways, so again, more feature launches still statistically. Keep in mind, I'm still playing my guest star game through all of this. Statistically, still no one is using it. In an ongoing effort to try and get more people, this is in October, so a couple months after that, in an effort to try and get more than 18 streamers, the aforementioned under 18 number of streamers that are using it at any given time. 18 streamers at the time to use guest star. Streams now using it have an aggressive overlay to try and take attention away from other creators. And this really annoyed me because all of a sudden you're trying to give an unfair advantage by making something a little bit more attractive for a feature that nobody needs, nobody wants, but they're trying to steal attention from actual creators who are growing organically. That is maddening to me. And I think I don't actually know. I did. Okay. Guest star has not been the success they have wanted because the demand for it is not there. Guest-based content is a niche on Twitch. Forcing demand by hurting other creators' discovery to justify the resources going into this is insane decision-making. Dan Clancy believes that collaboration is the foundation of growth, and he's not wrong, but every streamer who has had any kind of success has a co-host that the streamer collaborates with on creating content. Chat. That is the beautiful thing about a chat, is they're constantly collaborating with you. Chat is the co-host. Chat is the collab. Chat gives streamers a person to bounce ideas off of. Chat shares links and perspectives. Chat helps program the content. Chat helps with sound effects, overlays, TTS, and so on. And every streamer wants to have an active chat for this reason. The problem with guest star and having other streamers on is that by nature, the streamer will pay attention to the person they are talking to. That's just natural. That's how people operate. If somebody's talking to you in your head, you're going to ignore the people typing in chat, thus ignoring chat, their main collaborator, which makes the content that much less compelling if they aren't part of it. One of the reasons that Twitch is amazing is that you have that kind of collaborative element with your chat. And for you as the chatter, you have the ability to interact with the streamer and the ability to impact the overall content itself. That's the beauty of Twitch. Let's get back into the timeline here. Sorry, but it's a maddening thing that they don't get it. Dan Clancy has referenced, by the way, he's referenced shows like Howard Stern before and other radio where you have a co-host because you're talking on the radio for 5 hours a day. It's very, very hard to have a conversation by yourself for 5 hours. But the thing about that is that we're not doing talk radio. This is a collaborative live engagement platform. Okay. We skip ahead. October 20th, 2023. Guest star is rebranding to Stream Together. There was so much negativity around the idea of guest star that they had to call it something new to try and change the overall marketing around it. Again, if we're going back in the timeline here, this takes us to October 20th, 2023. So this is TwitchCon Vegas. They make the first announcement of the drop-in function. I think it's particularly important to take a look at this image because it shows a complete different overall feeling towards the community than what has occurred since they launched it. You'll see it has who can request to join and not open to collabs is a default setting. If you want to turn this off, the original design of this back in 2023, late 2023, was that, hey, we're going to give that control to creators because they know their content best. You can also set it that it's open to my favorites or to certain users. Now, we skip ahead further to the actual launch of this, and we see a dramatically different approach where, by default, this is on for everyone. If you're a partner, it's set to the channels who you follow, as well as the other partners, as well as your favorites. If you're an affiliate, it's all three. And there is, in fact, no off button. You can pause collaborations for the stream, or you can pause it for an hour, but you can't just turn this off. You can kind of get around that in terms of if you set no favorites and you set this, you disable all of these, then that means that only your favorites can call. And if you have no favorites, then they can't call you. Nobody can call you. But that's a workaround. That's not an off switch. And that's a dramatically different approach to the community than was originally presented. During that time, they have clearly decided we do not trust this community to do what we want them to do. We are going to force them to do what we want. So now they've officially launched this feature. It is in people's sidebars, and you're going to see it. If you are a streamer, you're going to see it on the side and go, oh God, that person's got that on. Not because they want to collaborate, but because it was forced upon them and they either don't know or don't care to turn it off because they're just going to ignore every single time somebody knocks on their door. But where does that leave us now? Well, Twitch is doing everything they can to make this bridge to nowhere somewhat functional, and that includes seemingly paying people or bribing people. They are currently in the process of hiring people to actually use and create content around this to generate excitement, because it turns out that tutorial content, if there's no demand, people don't make it. What we need from you: record and edit video content, create content where you set up and discuss, stream together. Following a script will provide. It should feel like a natural extension of your usual content, which, again, I don't know how that's possible for a feature that nobody uses. Posting. Put the final video up on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram with proper tags for search optimization. Promotion approval. Allow Twitch to promote or boost your posted content. Content usage rights. Permit Twitch to repurpose the content for our educational materials on Twitch. Please note that this is not guaranteed. And in exchange, they're offering thousands of dollars as long as they get it done in September. They need it done before TwitchCon. So they are now paying people to create content around a feature that nobody wants. Does this not sound like a bad idea? Further still, they're now bribing people. Hey, did you hear? It's drop-ins week, something that doesn't exist and nobody asked for and nobody cares about. Drop in and hang out with friends anytime before September 8th for a chance to be featured on the homepage shelf. Has any of this had any impact in increasing the amount of people using Guest Star? Keep in mind, roughly 18 people were using it at any given time before this launch, before this forced update. Let's see how many people are live right now. 105,000 people are live right now. Stream together. We're just going to assume that all these people are currently using it. This has a little bit of a lag on it, so sometimes it'll show people that have used it recently but are not currently using it. And let's just see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. I'm confident in this, by the way. 100, 105, 110, 110, 115, 117. If you want to go back and count to make sure that I'm accurate in that, go ahead. 117 people are currently using it out of 105,000. Times that by 100, and we get a total of 0.1%. If you want that expressed in a different way that maybe makes more sense, 99.888% of people are not using Guest Star. And if we only count that this was originally for non-gaming, just chatting content, just chatting, how many people match for just chatting? 9 people. 9 streams of this 117 are non-gaming, just chatting content. I go back to this tweet from June 30th of 2022. There's a lot riding on the success of Guest Star. I can only assume that the entire company hinges on trying to get somebody, anybody, any kind of KPIs in using this feature that nobody wants, nobody asked for, that the data seemingly never suggested ever had any point in existing other than to support a massive, expensive, technological marvel bridge to nowhere. That's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, click like, click subscribe. Make sure to join the TOS.GG newsletter for all the streaming industry news. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.